Hi all. In this video, we'll see about Agent API. So Agent API is used to connect to an Agentforce agent from your website. We can create and deploy headless agents to automate functionality without UI constraints. So let's see one documentation here. So we can refer this documentation like how we can use Agent API. And if you click on this Get Started, you can see what is the process. Get started with the Agent API. So we have to create a connected app, we have to generate a token, and how to make an API request. So this documentation is very clear. So it has all the steps like how we can create connected app, and it also has the details of curl to generate the token, to create the session, and to start conversation. So let's build this. So what I'll do is I'll go to Salesforce org. Before starting building the agent API, let's see the current functionality now. So I'll go to setup, search for agents, Agentforce agents, click on this service agent here, go to builder. So this is one of the topic which we created, reservation cancellation. So this topic is used to cancel the reservation records. So we're gonna use this topic. So what I'll say is I'll give one prompt here. I'll say cancel my reservation. So it should basically ask me to enter the reservation number. So I'll enter this reservation number. So once I enter the reservation number, it should ask me for the reason. So I'll say some reason, change in plan. And you can see this message, your reservation has been successfully cancelled. If you need any further assistance, feel free to ask. So let's see if this reservation record got updated. So I'll go to Salesforce again, search for this reservation record. Let's see, open this reservation record, and you can see the cancellation reason populated with change in plan, and the status is cancelled, and the cancellation date is automatically populated here. So whatever we tried in the Agentforce builder, we're gonna try same thing from Postman using Agent API. The same conversation which we had here, we're gonna do it from the Postman. So let's do that. So the first step is we have to create a connected app. So for that, what I'll do is I'll go to setup. Let's search for external client. Under external client apps, click on settings. Make sure you enable this toggle allow creation of connected apps. Click on new connected app. Give a name. I'll say Agentforce API. And you can give some email here. I'll give my email here. Let's enable OAuth settings. We have to give the callback URL. So I'm going to provide the callback URL. So let's change it to login.salesforce.com. So we have to select the scopes here. So I'll select chatbot API scope. One is, and the other is Salesforce API platform scope. And other is we have to provide the refresh token offline access thing as well. And there is one more scope which we need to select. Select this. Uncheck all these things. We don't need this. And make sure we need to enable client credentials flow here. So we have to enable this. Click on OK, and we have to select this as well. Click on select, just check this, and click on save. Click on continue. Now the connected app got created. So what we have to do here is, so we have to change the client credential flow. Under client credential flow, we have to set the run as user. So what we're gonna do here is click on manage, click on edit policies, change the run as user. For now I'll change it to my user. Click on save. So this is done. So our connected app is ready now. So what we have to do now? So we have to add our connected app to our agent. So for that, In the setup, I'll search for Agentforce agents, select the service agent, and you can see a tab called as connections. Click on it, click on add here, select the type as API. I'll say Agentforce API is my integration name. Select the connected app here. Agentforce API is the connected app name, and click on save. That's it. So now we created the connected app, and we what we did is we added our connected app to the Agentforce service agent. So let's go to the next step here. So if we go to the documentation, we created the connected app. We also added the connected app to the agent. So what is the next step here? So we need to get the credentials. We need to get the consumer key and consumer secret from the connected app. Let's get those things. And we're going to use these two things, consumer details and the consumer secret key, consumer key and consumer secret key to get the access token. So I'll go to the connected app again, search for app manager. This is the connected app which we created. Agentforce API is the one which we created. Click on view. Click on manage consumer details, and it will let me enter the token here. So I need to enter the verification code here. Once we enter the verification code, it will give us the consumer key and consumer secret key. So we're gonna use those two things here. So for now, what I'll do is I'll copy this curl. I'll go back to my Postman tool. So I'll click on import, paste the curl here. So this is the curl which basically generate the access token. I'll name this request as token, and I'll store it under Agentforce Agent API. Click on import into collection. Okay, so this is done. Let's see what it requires. So we need the domain URL, and if I go to body, I need to populate the consumer key and the consumer secret from the connected app. I'm gonna do it, and that's it. We have to need we also need the domain URL. So I populated the consumer key and consumer secret. Now I need to change the domain URL. So I'll get the domain URL. So I'll go to my domain and get the domain URL. So I'll change the domain URL here. Save it, click on send. And you can see we got the access token. Now go to the documentation again. So we tried this curl. We passed consumer key and consumer secret key, and this is a sample token response, which we got the same. We also got the access token. So let's see what is the next step. So call the API. After you set up your connected app and create a token, you are ready to call the API. Before making the call, we need to gather this information. So let's copy this session. Let's copy this curl. So this curl basically create a session. So let's copy this curl again. Click, go to Postman, click on import, paste the curl, change it to session ID for now. Select the collection, click on import into collection. Let's see what this requires. So it requires the agent ID, and if I go to body, it requires the random UUID. It requires the domain URL. That's it. And if I go to headers, we need to provide the access token. I think we already got the access token here. Let me copy this access token. Copy this access token, paste it here. So this is the first step. Done. Okay, there seems like an issue here. 1 second. Okay, the problem is we copied the signature as well, so it should be only the access token. Copy just the access token here. Go to this thing, paste it here, bearer and the token. That's it. So we are done with the first step. So we need to populate the access token here, and we need to give the random UUID and the domain URL. So we already have the domain URL. So go to token. This is the domain URL. We can use this domain URL. Go to this request, go to body and give the domain URL. Now again go to the documentation. So we populated the domain URL, we populated the access token, and we need the agent ID. So agent ID, you can find this ID in the URL of the agent overview page. I'm going to do the same here. So what I'll do is I'll go to setup, and this is the overview of the overview page of the service agent. So this is the agent for service agent. I'll just copy the agent ID from the URL, go to Postman again. So paste the agent ID here. So this is done. Yes. Now let's see the next step here. So we need to generate the random UUID. So we need to generate this random UUID. So for that, I'll go to developer console and I'll execute one script here. So I'll just went to developer console and I'm executing the script random UUID. Click on execute. Click on debug only. Get the UUID. Copy this and go to Postman. Paste the UUID here. Click on send. Let's see. Now we got the session ID. The session created successfully. We got the session ID. Let's see what is the next step. So we hit the same curl. We got the session ID. What is the next step? So we'll go to this tab, session lifecycle. So here we already started the session. We got the session ID. The next step is to send and receive messages. And we can also have, there is also a curl which will end the session. So there are two ways actually for sending. We can use synchronous or streaming messages. So for now, we're going to focus on synchronous. Go to examples. I think we already started the session. The same call we used, we got the session ID. Let's send synchronous message. Just copy this call, go to Postman, click on import, paste the call. I'll say it as send message. Change the collection name to Agentforce API. Click on import into collection. Let's see what else are required here. So we need the session ID here, and in headers we need the access token. So we already have the access token. We're going to use the same access token here. Go and use the same access token. In the body, we need the sequence ID, and this is where we have to enter the prompt. So we also need the session ID. I think we got the session ID in the response, which we this is the session ID which we got. Copy the session ID, paste the session ID here. And what is sequence ID? Let's go to the documentation again. Sequence ID, a number that you provide to represent the sequence ID. Increase this number for each subsequent message in this session. Let's keep it as 1 now. So I'll keep it as 1. For every conversation, we're going to increase this value. And here I'm going to give the prompt here. So I'll use the same prompt which we tried earlier, right? Cancel reservation. I'm going to start the conversation here. Let's hit send. Let's see what is the response which we are getting from Agentforce. So this is a message which I sent, cancel reservation. It returned me this message. Sure, I can help with that. Could you please provide the reservation number? So I'll pick any of the reservation number here. So I'll go to reservation records. Let's pick any of the reservation records which is in confirmed status. Let's pick this. Copy the reservation number here. Go to Postman again. And this time I'll pass the reservation number here. click on send. So this is a second conversation, right? So we have to make sure we have to increase the sequence ID as well, as mentioned in the documentation, right? Yeah. So now it is asking me to provide the reason for the cancellation. So we provided the reservation number. So it's the next step is it's asking for reason. So I'll say this time I'll say cancel it. I'll say some message from Postman or something, some dummy message, and I'll change the sequence ID to 3 now. I'll click on send. Let's see. Now we got this message, your reservation has been cancelled successfully. Let's go to the reservation record. Just click on refresh. Now you can see the status as marked as cancelled. The cancellation date got populated, and you can see the message which we given in the Postman cancelled from Postman. Now this is working fine. You can try continue the conversation here just by changing the text node here. And what is the next step? So we started the session. We can also end the session using an API. So for that, go to the documentation, scroll down little bit. If you see, there is already a curl to end the session as well. It has a delete method. We need to provide the session ID and the access token. Let's copy this curl here. Copy this curl, go to Postman, click on import, paste the curl here. I'll say delete session, store under this collection, click on import into collection. So it requires two things. One is session ID, and in headers we need the access token. I'm going to use this same session ID. This is the session ID which I'm going to cancel. Okay. And the other thing is we need to give the access token as well. Go to authorization, maybe go to headers, copy the access token, go to headers again, paste the access token here, save it, click on send. Now you can see 200 response and the session has ended successfully. Now if I try continuing the conversation with the session ended, you'll see an error message now. You can see 404 not found, session not found. Thanks for watching.